Hello everyone, welcome back to the next part of my walkthrough guide. So we did some leveling up and we are finally about to go on to a convenient distraction. Thancred is tired of waiting around. I'd say we're long overdue for a good turn. I can only hope that gods feel the same way. Now Novi's Levings was to the south, was it? Let's get going. Yeah, so I mentioned this in my last video. It's been a very, very long time since we went out on a kind of mission with Thancred. I mean, I might be wrong about this, but I think the last time it was just the two of us was way back in A Realm Reborn, like literally right after we first joined the Scions, and we were helping him gather information about the Almaja and if they were going to be summoning Ifrit, and that led up to our very first battle with the Primal. Since then, we worked with him, like, here and there, but never, like, it was never, like, the two of us alone since then. So it is kind of nice. So I'm kind of hoping that maybe we can talk to him, he might open up to us, because he certainly has changed since coming to the first, and not necessarily for the better. Because I do kind of miss, like, his old, like, charming, good-natured self. I mean, he wasn't exactly the same way after he was possessed by La Habrea and everything, but I mean, you could still see traces of that. Here, it's very difficult to see any traces of the person he used to be. And I don't know, I mean, I guess I understand why he's acting that way, but I can't say I like it either. The way you described it, I was expecting the place to be abandoned. Perhaps our fortunes are finally improving. Though we should probably hear what Gofjhun has to say before we celebrate. Assuming we can find him, that is. So we're going to be looking about here in the mines. Seems pretty quiet so far. Some bats, and is that a moving statue? It's like, that makes no sense. Why not kill one of those and steal those cores? Wouldn't that be the same thing, or? Yeah, see, we got moving stone boulders here. How is that different than the Talos? There's both moving statues, like, and I'm not even gonna go into that. Is this our man? I don't know, maybe he can explain why we don't just use those stone things. Huh? Who are you? And what are you doing here? Well, you should have listened to Tath. You're wasting your time. But this side is not as developed as the others, is it not? Surely there must be something left. I should explain. The stone you're looking for is leonine. All the Talos in the Hills of Amber are powered using them. Or were, at least. Anyway, whatever's left, if anything, is too far below to be safely excavated. In the deepest reaches of the mine, we use Talos to keep the pathways from collapsing. They're still there, but they could give out at any time, which is why much of the mine is closed off. Then our only option is to search the higher levels for any fragments of leonine that may have been overlooked. I suppose there may be one other way. Well, don't leave us in suspense. What you're asking for is a trade secret. I'll need to be duly compensated in exchange. Fine, what do you want? The other day I found a verbite gold piece down in the mines. Bloody verbite gold piece! And wouldn't you know it, I dropped the damn thing somewhere where I was working. Find it and I'll tell you what you want to know. You drive a hard bargain, sir, but we'll take it. It seems we have our work cut out for us, Claire. Thankfully, I have an idea for how we might hurry things along. As I'm sure you've noticed, despite their best efforts to illuminate the corridors, it's rather dark in here, meaning it will be much harder to find a single coin hiding in the shadows. That's why I propose we use these, sundrops. They help the eyes take in more light. Why don't you start your search further in, and I'll handle this area here. I'll retrace your steps after in case you've happened to miss it. If you feel the drop's effects wearing off, I can give you more, so don't worry. Oh man, look at all these broken pieces. Dark shadow. You search the shadows but find nothing. Perhaps the gold piece lies elsewhere. So go deeper into the mines. Yeah, so there's definitely more of them. And I'm still probably going to be going on about that for a while, but we're going through all this trouble to repair a moving statue when we have like these moving boulders. I'm not saying that we tame them or something, like maybe kill them, take their cores and see if that would work. Maybe? I don't know. As you search the shadows, a glint catches your eye. You turn over a rock and find the Verbert gold piece. Oh, well that wasn't so hard. Make a break for it! Personally, I think he just told us to go find the gold piece, hoping that we would just go away. Well, he's got no choice now! I was hoping he'd drop the gold piece somewhere closer to the entrance. More fool me for thinking Lady Luck was on our side. Oh, I don't know. Maybe this will convince you otherwise. Or maybe she is. Yours at least. In the end, my contribution was little more than poor company. Well, I couldn't have done it without your sun drops. So you say, but you have a proven knack for success regardless of circumstances. I doubt very much I could have discovered it unassisted. I only managed to survive the Coerthan wilderness and the imperial capital by virtue of extensive preparation, a habit of mine since childhood, and one of my few positive traits which endeared me to Louis Soin, I imagine. It hasn't been easy finding ways to compensate for my condition. Every tool and trinket has proven vital to my continued success, such as it is. Had I chosen to pursue the arcane arts rather than espionage, well, I'd rather not think on it. So long as I have the means to protect those dear to me and to see my duties through, that's all that matters. Now let's hurry back to Gofjhun. Sooner we get back to Urianger and Minfilia, the better. Well, he's right here, so we don't need to go very far. You're back. Wait, does that mean... Yes, we found it. I'll be damned, you actually found it. Well, a deal's a deal, but don't think this means you'll find what you're after. A dirty job. Luckily for you, Gofjhun is a man of his word. To be honest, I wasn't sure you could pull it off. But you did, and I'm a man of my word. Come with me. I wonder how long it'll be before we reach the next dungeon. From the looks of things, it looks like we'll be heading down into the mines. I hope you waited for the sun drops to wear off. They work wonders in the dark, but in the light of day, they'll only bring you pain. Every time I step out of those mines, the sky seems to get brighter. I'd never leave them if the air weren't so stale. Bet you're not come to hear my grievances. You're after leonine. First, I have to ask, you ever heard of rockworms? Rockworms? I know them by another name, though I'm fairly certain the locals call them knockers. Aye, that they do. Whatever you want to call them, those little bastards may be the answer to all your troubles. They can fit through cracks and crevices down there that we could never hope to reach. And on occasion, they come back with something valuable. They dig up leonine in the mines? It is a rare occurrence, but yes. That said, it usually amounts to no more than a few flakes. Well, our only other option sounds tantamount to suicide. So, how can we draw out these rockworms? Over by that shack, you'll find a bag full of smoke bombs. Set up a few in the mines and you'll flush them out in no time. Once they're out in the open, knock them senseless and check their backs. I should warn you, this method of mining, if you can even call it that, it's used as a last resort on account of what little they're like to bring back. You want to cover as much ground as you can if you hope to find anything of value. Assuming you do find something, bring it here and I'll have a look. We should split up if we're to cover more ground as he suggests. If you can cover these 3 areas on your map, I'll see to the parts between them. Okay, we got the smoke bombs, and we'll just head back inside this little labyrinth, and hopefully we won't die. Smoke bomb here. Place the smoke bombs at the designed locations inside the mines. Oh, I was kind of thinking that they were explosives. You know, you blow up a chunk of rock and then they'll come swarming out. I guess not. Oop, don't go down that way. We'll try this way. No, wait, this way first. It looks pretty cool like that, actually. And here's the last location. The air in the mines grows thick with smoke. Nearby you hear the soft rumbling of stones. Oh, come on. Okay, now that that's taken care of, let's head back, and no, I don't want to take somebody else's monsters, I want my own monsters. Oh, wait, now I know what they are. I should have guessed it was these things. And there's one. 1 out of 7? Really? Okay, this might take a while. Where am I supposed to go now? I don't see any other places here, so... Deeper? Yeah, it definitely looks deeper. Oh, there's one. Yeah, this might take a while. Oh, come on. I helped you with yours. You don't want to help me with mine? I mean, it's only polite. At least these things aren't too tough. They die pretty easily. Three down, 4 to go. And I find it strange that with all of these Talos pieces, not a single one of them is operational. Like, are all of their hearts just gone? I mean, I know it's fantasy, like it takes place in another world, but I mean, a little bit of common sense wouldn't hurt. Another piece of rubble. Is this the last one, at least in this section? Okay, so that's that for this section. We only need 2 left in the other section. Good news is it's much closer to the entrance. 6 down. 1 more to go. And I'm guessing it's over there. No! That was so close! Is it that same guy from before? Yeah, I think it is. Well, thank you for helping me out a little bit. I appreciate it. I'll just handle this last guy here. Inspect the rubble and slay any knockers that appear to acquire glittering rocks. Looks like Thancred already made it out. Did you find anything? I found my fair share of rocks. Hopefully there's leonine among them. There you are. Find anything promising? Glittering rock. A chunk of rock taken from the hide of a knocker. Between the two of you, I'd say you got quite the haul. Best get comfortable, friends. It's gonna take time for me to shift through all this.
You may not remember this about Arminfilia, but prior to founding the Path of the 12, long before the Scions, she was something of a miner. After her father died, Flamine took her in and taught her the trade. I think they were both seeking to fill the void left by a loved one. Maybe that's why she took to it so readily. Back in those days, I spent most of my time in the Quicksand, or some other tavern, loosening tongues and gathering secrets. Occasionally, I'd catch a glimpse of her in the street, on her way home after another hard day's work. I always felt a wave of relief when I saw she'd come back safe, along with a pang of guilt at the fact I wasn't there to support her as I should have been. Simply speaking with her more than once in a blue moon would have been a good start, but I could never bring myself to do it. Instead, I threw myself into my work and became every drunkard's best friend.
Not your finest hour, to say the least.
Far from it, and Flamine has never let me live it down. But that was a lifetime ago. Here and now I have another chance to do things right, and I will not squander it again.
Hey! Come and see what I found! You're not going to believe this.
Tell me it's leonine.
It is at that. You lot were born lucky. It's mostly broken pieces. But look at this.
This is a rather fine specimen.
It's been decades since we found anything approaching this big. But that's not all. There's an engraving on it.
Ah, these scratches here. They're a little hard to make out. To my beloved Magnus and Schoolie.
Yes! Do you see? It was a gift to Magnus from his wife. She found it. She really found it. She must have spent her final hours carving this message into the stone, in the hope that he might see it one day. Those rock-backed bastards must have made off with it before we could clear a path to her. It's fate that brought you here to find this stone. No other explanation. It makes me wonder what else might still be buried in these parts.
Wow, what are the odds of finding that? Does this mean that Magnus is going to be willing to help us out now? I hope so. I had hoped we would find leonine, but to find that particular specimen is nothing short of a miracle. Have a heart. Gofjhun is still reeling from your miraculous find. I wouldn't believe it had I not seen it myself. Before you set it in the Talos, would you take it to Magnus? For 3 long years he's believed she died for nothing. He must know the truth, that her sacrifice was not in vain. We'll take it straight to him, you have my word. Thank you, Gofjhun, for all your help. Right then, let's not keep everyone waiting. Let's just teleport straight back. I'm not in the mood to run. I can't wait to see his expression. Where is he? Oh, he's back in the graveyard. Gods, what do we say? What? Oh, it's you. If you come to complain about the trolley, you'll find no sympathy from me. I told you before it won't run, and you wouldn't listen. Oh, but it will, now that we have this. Your name is engraved on it, along with your son's. It was a gift from your wife, Magnus. From Agna. No. No, she couldn't have. Agna. Take it. Do with it what you will. Are you certain? It would delay our plans, but... I said take it. It was you who found it. You who needs it. Looking at that stone, all I can see is... Please, just leave me be. I hope you'll be there when the Talos stirs to life. I'm sure she'd want you to see it. Would you do the honors of delivering this to Urianger? Man, I can't help but feel bad for the guy. I mean, I don't even know what's going on in his head right now. You found leonine? Truly? Then what are we waiting for? Let's get that trolley moving. You what? By the gods, I didn't think it possible. Sorry I couldn't be of more help. By the sounds of it, you have a knack for handling strange requests. On the bright side, Urianger taught me a lot about the Talos and their hearts. I think I can help if they need further repairs. Finally, we can move on to Nabatha Rang, assuming this works, of course. Thou art returned, and with leonine it would seem. As promised, the Talos had been made ready to receive its heart, thanks in no small part to Jarek, Thath, and Menphilia. At last we shall return time to the timeless, this sentient of stone, that we may press on towards Nabatha Rang, leonine, a rare mineral used to power the Talos in the hills of Amber. Very good. Let us now begin.
Preparations for the enchantment are complete. When the heart hath been suffused with a sufficient quantity of ether, the golem should be restored to life.
All right then. Whenever you're ready. It's working! It's working! Magnus!
You left me for this? This wretched heap of stone and rubble? This worthless pile of earth? And yet, I can't. I can't.
What troubleth thee, child?
I shouldn't be here. I don't deserve to be. I don't deserve any of the things you've done for me. I'm just a burden, helpless and hopeless. If tomorrow came and I was gone, it would be better for everyone. Thancred most of all. He'll never admit it, but I can see it in his eyes. I wish he'd just say it. Just say that he hates me, that he wishes I was dead so that she could return.
None of this is thy doing, child. 'Twas I who set the oracle on her path unto the first. I who condemned you all to suffer these torments. 'Tis my sin alone, and one that will haunt me unto my dying day. Yet I dare not dwell over long on my many regrets, for the world is a tapestry of fates, interwoven and inseparable. And we who strive to better it cannot choose but make difficult decisions. For naught of worth was ever achieved without sacrifice, and thus must man ever struggle to weigh life against loss. The one for whom thou mournest beareth no grudge. Were she here, she would not suffer thee to languish in sorrow. She would tell thee to seek thine own path, thine own purpose. It is a truth which I myself was slow to learn. Yet a truth it remaineth. Thou needst but have faith, and all will be well.
Go to her.
Not today.
To what do I owe the pleasure that is your extended stay?
Oh, to the tediousness of our hero's present endeavors. That and the insufferable abundance of light in Armorang. I should be glad to keep my distance. Oh, I'm rather fond of sleep, you know. It's a wonderful way to pass the time. Not that my compeers will agree, mind you. Always on the move, the lot of them. Like La Hebrea, constantly jumping from vessel to vessel. Such fire, such determination. So much passion, fleeting and forgotten. Come to think of it, Exarch, I don't believe I've ever seen you retire to your chambers for so much as 40 winks. However do you keep your eyes from closing? The cold shoulder. You wound me, sir. Always so guarded in our every interaction. Interactions you curiously refrain from sharing with the Scions and their champion.
And risk souring your budding relationship? I think not. Much as I dislike you, there are more useful targets for her energies. And I am not in the habit of pointing her at my enemies like a weapon.
Is that right? Fond of her, are you? You continue to fascinate me, Exarch. But tell me, who are you? The once great nation whose ingenuity gave birth to this tower was shaped by my hand. As such, I know full well the wonders it can facilitate and those it cannot. There is nothing in these walls which could have aided you in summoning our dear friend across time and space. Much less in possession of her mortal flesh. Not even I could have performed such a feat.
I see. You had a hand in Alag as well. You would know what I am? I am the adjudicator of the sacred history with which you dared trifle. I am keeper of this tower's boundless wisdom. The wisdom of ages without age, of everywhere and nowhere. The great work of those who tamed the wings of time and grasped the nature of the rift. 'Tis a boon born of the sacrifice of brave heroes who gave their lives for a brighter future. I will not see their hopes and dreams squandered. The history which led us here will be unwritten. I promise you that.
Well, it seems we're both eager to fulfill our duties then.
On that much, we are in agreement.
Okay, there's a lot going on all at once. We have a way to power the trolley, and we have a lot of soul searching and character development going on all at once, as well as wondering what the X-Arch is planning here. I'm fine, really. It's just been a long day. Mine apologies for the delay. Minfilia and I had a private matter to discuss. Which bringeth me to the question, how didst thou find Thancred during your search? Well, it wasn't so bad. He spoke of Minfilia, of his own accord. I see. 'Tis well that he did, and with such candor. I attempted to broach the subject before. Mine intention was to ensure no words remained unspoken between them, lest tragedy intercede. I regret I find myself all too well. Alas, in the end, he refused to heed my counsel. A time will come when they must face the reality of their circumstances, but I have faith that all will be well in time. Now, let us not tarry any longer. The Talos and the Batharang await. So that's it for that particular quest, and where do we go next? Hello? Magnus maketh ready for departure even as we speak. Might I prevail upon thee to inquire as to his progress? Oh, okay. I didn't see it at first. Oh, look at it! It's moving! Full steam ahead. Magnus is grinning from ear to ear. Well, I guess he did a full 180 there. You have done it. You've done us a kindness for greater than we deserve. Thank you. I mean it. Just thinking about the trolley speeding down the tracks, gears whirling. Gods, I can't stop smiling. He's actually kind of cute. The Talos, I mean, not this guy. But I think that we'll end it there for now. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So, until next time, everybody.